Prosperity isn't simple financial gain. It's the ability to live life to the fullest, to feel whole, grounded, and aligned from the inside out. It's flourishing exceedingly and abundantly in every area of your life, not just existing. We don't have time for that. It is about truly living. And as I always say, success moves at the speed of execution. And sometimes that execution starts with faith, with the decision to rise, and with the courage to turn pain into purpose.
Here we go! Nicole Johnson, Nicole Johnson, Nicole Johnson, let's go!
And welcome to another episode of Prosperity Conversations. I am your host, the Nicole Johnson, founder of the Wealthy Women Lifestyle. And today's guest has a testimony that will move you, strengthen you, and remind you why faith is a strategy for prosperity. Today, we're being joined by Dominique Merriweather, founder of Women Walking by Faith, a ministry and movement helping women strengthen their bodies, yes, deepen their faith, and walk boldly in purpose. Dominique's journey was shaped by immense loss. On November 21st, 2017, her younger brother became a hero, giving his life to save a child, their mother, and even their dog from drowning. That day broke her mentally, spiritually, and physically. But in 2020, the height of the pandemic, she chose faith over fear. And from that decision, Women Walking by Faith was born, a community rooted in healing, empowerment, and resilience. You guys give it up for Dominique Merriweather. Welcome to the stage, my dear. How are you? How are you? How
Thank
are
you.
you?
Thank you. Listen, I'm
Yes.
trying to get used to this weather changing from cold to hot, but hey, I'm here for it. Today was beautiful. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Listen, I think the weather be suffering like we do when we get to a certain stage. It is called Mother Nature.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Listen, I am so glad to have you with us because this series that I've done or that I'm doing is really helping me connect with people whose mission and passion is in alignment with what I'm trying to do, the message I'm trying to convey. And right now, at this point in time, people are just getting over a 40 plus day furlough in the federal government. And a lot of people were already on the border, right? Teeter tottering in certain things in life, especially when it comes to their finances, and then to in turn have a 40 plus day, which was what, two and a half paychecks. If you already living the paycheck to paycheck, and some people live in paycheck to other paycheck, right? Not the next one, but I'm
Right.
gonna cut this one in half, and then I need a half of the next. Listen, there were some cards that fail, right? And so my goal is to ensure that the audience has a concept that prosperity does go beyond just what's in the bank account. But don't get me wrong, our life happenings hit differently when our money is in order. Okay. So let's not be deterred or confused about that. But I want to share more with them on how prosperity can impact their lives. Now, I'm going to ask you, Dominique, share
Okay.
with our audience, what does prosperity mean to you?
Oh, it's an excellent question. And you're right, it's definitely beyond materialistic things. It's definitely beyond financial wealth. That's a part of it, to your
Right.
point. But prosperity for me is really living out life to its fullest, not just existing, right? Because we can get into that rut of just existing. And not only that, but just being completely whole in every area of your life to flourish exceedingly and abundantly in every area, mentally, physically, emotionally, and, in our wealth, financial wealth as well, I might add.
And I love that because one could have all of the money, right? But some of them are emotionally imbalanced, right? Some of them could be as rich could be.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? Their health is failing. And what they always tell us, you can't take it with you, right? You cannot take it with you. So you've got to, we have to have a balance, right? So we need the money in place, but we need to be filled and fulfilled, right?
That's right.
And so I had an event a few weeks ago, and when I tell you I had an amazing time, but the next day those knees said you had too much of an amazing time, and I'm about to pay you back. I'm about to pay you back. So now it was okay. Well, I came catching. Come on down. So, it does take um, balance. And so I want to ask you, at what point did you, and I'm already feeling, you and I had a conversation inside the green room about alignment because
Mm-hmm.
at the height of 2020, I had a health scare.
Mm.
When the doctors don't know what they're looking at. And I'm like, well, if you the expert and you don't know, what I supposed to do, So
Mm-hmm.
at the height of the pandemic itself was enough,
That's right.
right?
Yeah.
And then to have health care, but in your case, the loss of your boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
But let me say this. He was doing something amazing at that time, right?
That's right.
But something happened for you. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate that. It really starts mentally. So it really takes, it's really all about starting off mentally and how you feel about yourself. How do you feel about your prosperity around you, whether that's health, emotional health, wellness as it relates to, mental and all of the things, which is one of the reasons I really love and appreciate what you're doing in your area of expertise for women, all of the things that we're doing as far as prosperity and educating those that need to be educated. But it really started with the mindset of it took a toll because I didn't care. I didn't care anymore. This was in the middle. This was even during right before the pandemic, and so I really just lost myself mentally. And
Mm.
so from there, it just spiraled out of control with not caring about what I weigh, not caring about my finances, not caring about my emotional health, just not caring until a moment I got up and my faith brought me to a point where it says, okay, are you ready to start not just existing but living? Are you ready to start living? Are you ready to start embracing wholeness? Are you ready to start embracing who I created you to be? And so
Mm.
that's really where it started. And so it shifted actually in the pandemic. So 2020 really is when I got serious about my life, my entire life, because we really, at the end of the day, we want to leave a legacy. And we can't do that if our emotions are all over the place. We can't do that if we're financially bound. We can't do that if we're not set up and setting our legacy and ourself up for success for generations beyond where we are today. And so that's really where it started. God said, let's start to walk this thing out. And that's when Women Walking by Faith was birthed. And it was birthed out, like you mentioned, out of pain and then out of just um, motivation to be able to be whole again, motivation to be able to do better and leave things behind in a great way for the next generation. So that's really where it started. So it's all about empowering women, empowering yourself, empowering your mind, creating community, embracing who you are, and then passing it along to others.
I love that. I love that. Um, because sometimes I think so many of us are hiding behind pain, guilt,
Mm-hmm.
embarrassment, right? I can remember being a few years ago being at the heaviest I had ever been in my life, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And and really wondering, okay, don't take no pictures of me. Neck up, that's it. And if you can just get right here under the chin, keep the rest of this out,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so
Mm-hmm.
we don't share. But what we have to realize is that if we want to make a change, if we want to see a change in our communities, it starts with that sharing, because somebody who needs to know, you're not the only one, right? And if I hold your hand and you hold my hand, we can go further together.
That's right. I love that
Okay.
because it's also about embracing community. It's also how do we embrace each other to be your best self, right? And not just one of the things that I don't want to get too ahead of myself that we align with is really about embracing who we are, sharing that with others, and how do we get beyond just the exterior, right? So like you mentioned, it's not just about the money, it's just not about the way I look, it's also how I feel. It's also
Mhm.
about how I feel about my life. How do I feel about my finances? How do I feel about my wealth, my wholeness? How do I feel about all of that? So it's important. So definitely, women walking by faith gives women an opportunity if they're not secure in who they are yet, because I believe they will get there once they get the information and really understand who God says they are, that they can start walking in a community outside of the gym first until you build up enough self-esteem to say, okay, I think I can do this. I now feel comfortable enough to go to a gym. So that what you're saying as far as not wanting to take a full picture and just maybe a selfie, that was me. This selfie, the headshots, that's all I can do because embarrassment, shame, just all of the adjectives that you can think of until I got to a place and be a whole and say, I'm ready to walk. I'm ready to see the world. I'm ready to go to a gym. And so that's what Women Walking by Faith offers. It's an opportunity to be able to work out, encourage one another in faith, and also do it in an environment where you feel comfortable and safe.
And I love that because, like we were talking about alignment. What you just said also in line aligns with the She Economy Hub, which is my nonprofit organization, which is designed. We're in our giving campaign, and it's designed to help women find her power in her prosperity.
Yes.
So we're looking to sponsor 20 women to the January retreat that's local in Dallas. And what we want to do is be able to pour into them, because a lot of what we find when we start talking to them is that they don't have anybody that's doing that. But even our bigger mission, and this is our long term mission, we have a community of homelessness here in Dallas that is
Mm,
really, there are so many adjectives that I could use. I don't want to pick one and leave the other
sure.
200,000 out, you know what I mean? But I'm a preventative person. And so, how do we keep that community from growing? And so, our mission is to partner with the foster care system to ensure that children who age out of the foster care system have a place to go. There are some programs that the state offers, but I think they need additional support because kids, just imagine they're dealing with growing up in the foster care system where they were abandoned for whatever reason, loss of loved ones, abandoned physically, whatever. But now they're 18 and the
Hmm.
state says bye, no support, no emotional support, no educational support. Now, mind you, the state does give them a waiver, but it takes a lot more than that to get through college, right?
That's
And so are they ready? Is college for them? Do they want to develop a trade? Do they want to actually be an entrepreneur? They need time and they need a support system in place. So we are working on our giving campaign. And for anyone, especially since it's now toward the end of the year, we would love to have you join us. But I'm even more excited or equally excited that Dominique will be here with us live in Dallas for the, let's see, which one are we doing? Let's see, which one we on. Yes, that one right there.
hmm
We're going to the retreat. I'm all over the place. Y'all know me. They will be, Dominique will be here, and she's opening us up on Friday morning. Okay, what a way to start the day, with some, if you don't know her, if you guys that are watching don't know her, it's an experience, right? And the smile, the warmth, the welcome, you couldn't get a better welcome. You couldn't get a better opening. And so be sure to click on that link and find your way here to Dallas in January, because that is a weekend that we are pouring into women. We have some great sponsors. I'm just going to highlight a few dot cards for our entrepreneurs, so that you have that electronic business card, because there is fortune in the follow up. Coffee and Bible Time. They've donated some beautiful journals. I've had one for several years and it's too pretty to write in it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I actually have an accompanying notebook, but they have beautiful post-it notes that you can use. And it's time for journaling. It's time for it's organized so well, all in one space. Let's see, World Spring Spa. I'm just like, am I supposed to give these away? Really? Really? Can I get one? So they have passes for people to come and just let the day go away. And they have 42 pools on site, from around the world, with minerals, in the different minerals, different temperatures, and they're all designed for health and wellness. It is, yes, they're just like they just that feeling you have right there. That is it. But we even have some local business owners. Natasha Mack is an author here in Dallas, but I had to keep some of my roots that I planted in Alabama, where it's the Spa Boss Tribe of Alabama that is supporting us too. So I'm super, super excited. As a matter of fact, da 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 da, we won a grant from For Imprint, so they are donating $500 worth of marketing materials for us. So I'm super
That's awesome.
excited about that. And really, Dominique, he is just God is just showing up and showing out with the things that are happening for this event. And I haven't even talked about the lineup. We're gonna keep moving. We're gonna keep moving. We're gonna have to come back for a special episode, because I haven't even talked about the lineup of the people that are going to be on the stages with you guys. And I'm super excited. And I got a few things up my sleeve. I got a few things up my sleeve. But let's get back to Women Walking by Faith. I love how it merges faith and fitness, okay? Because baby, I need encouragement to keep taking those extra steps. Yes, I do. But let's talk about, how does that combination of faith and fitness help women build clarity, confidence, and strength?
Absolutely. So one of the things that it does is it gives you accountability, right? So when we make plans out, we want to make sure that Bible tells us write the vision, make it plain, and so you have to do that. But it's also just making sure you have a community, but you have accountability, and so that helps with the alignment. That helps to keeping you on track with your goals and what you're set to do, which is necessary. Which is necessary for growth, right? You want to make sure you're having things that you can point to, and a community that can help you stay on track, stay on target to what you want to accomplish, whether it's in your fitness or in your faith goal, which is critical. You also can start where you are. So we give very, very easy and practical steps on how they can keep up with their goals and their fitness tracks. We go back and we have homework assignments based on what they said they wanted to do. So that's another way of being accountable, and they can always go back to. So at the beginning of the year, we track it. Go back at the end of this year to see what they accomplished throughout the year, and it gives them a sense of encouragement. It gives them a sense of accomplishment towards those goals and to stay on target. So those are just a few of like the practical things that we do and that we offer that aligns with just prosperity, and really is those baby steps, but being consistent with it to be able to reach those goals.
Yeah, I love that, because we, especially women, we are our hardest critic,
Yes.
right? And we give, but here's the funny part. We extend grace to everybody else, but
Hmm.
we beat ourselves up, right? We are so hard and critical of ourselves, and that creates can create an atmosphere where we are our own barrier. As I tell my community, you the problem.
Mm.
You the problem. And so, what I do know, just like you, being the accountability partner that they need, not the one they want.
Mhm.
Because I tell mine all the time, I can be your best and your worst accountability partner. And they're like, how can you be both? I said, because in the beginning, you tell me your goals. The first thing I remind you, don't tell me your goals if you're not ready to do the work. But once you tell me those goals and you tell me you're ready to work, I hold you accountable to those goals. And when you start slacking, I hold you accountable to those goals and I don't let you forget them. So, Dominique, let me tell you, they'll start ducking and dodging. They don't come to class. And I'm like, okay, bobblehead, I see you ducking and weaving. At 5 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock at night. I had one not too long ago. I pulled up at her house. She was like, Miss Nicole. I said, mm-hmm. And if you out of town, please do. I'm a member of a national, international organization. I call somebody, hey, can you run by here for me? Knock on the door, put on the phone. Oh, I'm scared of her. But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, they really are thankful because when they reach that milestone
Yes,
that they didn't think they could reach,
that's
when
right.
I lost that, losing weight, it is not an easy feat. Okay. And I'm going to say this and I'm going to ask you a question in a moment. I'm going to say this to somebody who's listening. You didn't get there overnight. You will not get it off in 2 nights. And I mean, we might think we can, and click, click, click. Okay, I'm okay. Man, let me try again. Click, click, click. Okay, it doesn't work like that. But once you have a group of women surrounding you and supporting you and giving you the grace that you give to everybody else, it will start to work. And so I did have to have a surgical procedure. I finally found a doctor that told the insurance company, listen, her body is working against her with all the things that she's got going on. And so what we need you to do is designate this as medically necessary. And what I didn't realize is the pounds were coming off because they put me on a different medication. You know when I realized it? When I got on the scale. I wasn't paying attention to the fact that my pants was falling off of me. Them shirts was hanging a little bit longer because parts of me had started to melt away, but the numbers weren't looking at. And guess what I stopped doing? Getting on the scale because they wasn't cute no more. They still wasn't cute. And when she gave me my weight 2 days before surgery, I said, "What you had said?" I said, "What did you have said?" I pulled a phone out and took a picture so I could see it for myself. I was down 40 pounds.
Wow,
Had no idea where it gone because I had stopped looking, right?
that's
And
good.
so 3 weeks after surgery, I was at the weight that they wanted me to be at first to even do the surgery. But I could not have done that without the assistance.
Hmm.
So if you have to take medication because your body is doing some things that on its own is preventing you from getting to that goal, as long as it's under a doctor's care and managed correctly, do that. Do
That's
not let somebody tell you, oh, you lost the weight because you had medicine. The end result, I lost the
I
weight.
lost the weight. That's right.
Okay.
There's no one size fits all for everybody. It looks
Mhm.
different. The way you get there is different. Everybody's body's different.
That's
And so, and you talked about milestones. In the question we also celebrate. So although there's some rigor in accountability, positive reinforcement,
that's it.
but consistent positive reinforcement, they get to see reap the rewards of their labor. So that really is what allows them to continue to keep going because they see those small wins and those small wins add up to big wins.
That's right. I make the comparison of when there's a war. You have to win a number of battles.
Hmm.
You don't just come in and win the war. You
Hmm.
got to start over in the east. You gotta take winds in the west, the north, and the south, so that you get to the point where eventually the war is won. But you gotta have those small wins along the way so that they add. I'm gonna bring it even closer to home when we vote.
Mm, come on.
Did you say that? Oh, you said it's okay to say that.
Yes, come
You
on,
know what I miss?
Pastor.
I'm missing a yellow phone. I'm missing that yellow phone.
Yes. But this is a practical example.
Absolutely. We want to win on Pennsylvania Avenue, but we don't go out and vote at the local one 10 minutes away,
Mhm.
the state that's, right there. In order to get the big win, we got to capture the smaller
That's right.
components. So it really is something. It's a different time that we're living in, but this platform is international. I'm going to say that. And I'm so excited about that because somebody in Asia is listening. Okay. Somebody in England is listening. Someone in Ireland is listening. And so, Dominique, what I want you to do is, oh, I'm sorry, somebody in Greece, my bucket list destination. Yes, somebody in Greece is listening. Okay. And somebody out there might be feeling stuck, scared, unseen. What do you say to her or him?
I say to you that your story isn't over. You are in just a chapter of an entire book. And that book also has series. So I would encourage you that God can turn, like He did for me, He turned my pain into purpose, and He can do the same thing for you. So don't lose hope. Find your community even here. Find your community even in Women Walking by Faith. There and know that you have a purpose. God can turn anything around. So when you're feeling like I've been defeated, know that you have someone that's greater that can help you get through that thing. And this is only a chapter within your story.
Yes, I love that. And I'm going to say this for those of you who have a story to tell, right? There are stories out here that align with what I'm doing in the prosperity conversations for 2025. I want you to check out this site, write this down bit.ly prosperity conversations 25 and apply to have your story told because it was within these stories. It's almost like the chicken soup for the Christian soul, or Christian soul, or the chicken soup for the teenage soul, chicken soup for the women, chicken soup for the men, right? And then the kids. It's all sorts of components within, and your story needs to be heard. Okay, so make sure you check that out. And I'm Dominique. I always have a good time with you. Always.
Likewise, as
Thank you. And listen, we've been good to this. We've been good this time because we cut the whole.
yes, 8 minutes and 36 seconds. I think we're doing all right.
We cut the whole rug. We staying on point. We staying focused. But it only take one little thing to send us to
I'm
the.
trying.
But you guys, listen. You have to be at the retreat here in Dallas in January, right? And if you are feeling stuck, if you are feeling unseen, do as she said. Number one, forgive yourself and move forward. Find a community. And sometimes you might be the reason to create the community. Might be you. And Dominique, I want to thank you for your transparency, your strength, and your unwavering faith. Okay. And your story reminds us that prosperity is not something we chase, it is absolutely something that we choose. And choosing faith, healing, and to keep moving, even when the journey feels heavy, is phenomenal. And even though it doesn't feel good, I promise you, we both promise you, if you keep going, it'll get lighter and lighter, and then it'll be better and it'll be better. And to everyone watching, prosperity isn't perfection, it's progress with purpose. And no matter where you are, success moves at the speed of execution. You decide how fast you want to see your results. This has been another episode of Prosperity Conversations with the Nicole Johnson. Till next time. Bye.